What do you call a fighter who simultaneously held 2 UFC championship belts, defeated legends like Ronda Rousey and Chris Cyborg, and retired as the undisputed greatest female fighter of all time? You call her Amanda Nunes, the Lioness of the Cage. And today, we are diving deep into the incredible story of a woman who didn't just break barriers in mixed martial arts, she obliterated them. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because we are bringing you the most compelling stories from the world of combat sports. Today's journey takes us from the favelas of Brazil to the bright lights of the UFC octagon, following a woman whose fists wrote history and whose legacy redefined what it means to be a champion. Amanda Nunes was born on May 30th, 1988 in Pojuca, Bahia, Brazil. Growing up in a working-class family, Amanda's childhood was far from the glitz and glamour of championship gold. Her father worked as a truck driver, while her mother held various jobs to make ends meet. But even as a young girl, Amanda possessed something special, an unbreakable fighting spirit that would eventually make her a household name. At age 4, Amanda began training in karate, displaying natural athleticism and an aggressive style that set her apart from her peers. However, it wasn't until her teenage years that she discovered Brazilian jiu-jitsu and boxing, the disciplines that would become the foundation of her devastating fighting style. Training at local gyms in Salvador, Amanda quickly caught the attention of coaches who recognized her raw potential. The path wasn't easy. Like many fighters from Brazil's working-class communities, Amanda faced financial hardships that could have derailed her dreams. Equipment was expensive, training camps were costly, and professional opportunities seemed distant. But Amanda possessed something that couldn't be bought, an unwavering determination to succeed against all odds. Amanda's professional MMA debut came in 2008, competing in regional Brazilian promotions where she quickly established herself as a force to be reckoned with. Her early record showed glimpses of the dominance that would later define her career, but it also revealed a fighter still learning her craft. Early losses taught her valuable lessons about the mental game and the importance of well-rounded skills in mixed martial arts. The breakthrough came when Amanda caught the attention of Strikeforce, one of the premier women's MMA promotions before the UFC fully embraced female fighters. Competing against established names like Sarah Kaufman and Alexis Davis, Amanda began building the reputation that would eventually earn her a UFC contract. Her Strikeforce run wasn't without setbacks, though. A loss to Alexis Davis in 2012 could have been career-defining, but instead, it became a turning point. Amanda used that defeat as motivation, returning to Brazil to refine her skills and develop the aggressive, pressure-fighting style that would later terrorize opponents in the UFC octagon. When Strikeforce was absorbed by the UFC in 2013, Amanda found herself in the world's premier mixed martial arts organization, ready to prove that she belonged among the elite. Amanda's UFC debut in 2013 against Sheila Gaff was a statement fight. A dominant first-round TKO that announced her arrival to the bantamweight division. But it was her systematic destruction of established contenders that truly caught the MMA world's attention. The turning point came with her shocking 14-second knockout of Ronda Rousey at UFC 207 in December of 2016. Rousey, the former champion and biggest star in women's MMA, was expected to reclaim her throne after a year-long layoff. Instead, Amanda delivered a perfect combination of punches that sent Rousey crashing to the canvas and effectively ended her MMA career. This wasn't just a victory, it was a changing of the guard. Amanda had dethroned the queen and claimed her rightful place as the new face of women's bantamweight MMA. The win was so decisive, so brutal, that it left no doubt about who ruled the division. But Amanda wasn't satisfied with just one belt. In true champion fashion, she set her sights on an even bigger prize, becoming the first woman to simultaneously hold UFC championships in 2 weight classes. What happened next was unprecedented in women's MMA history. Amanda moved up to featherweight to challenge Chris Cyborg, widely considered the most feared female fighter on the planet. Cyborg had been destroying opponents for years with her aggressive striking and intimidating presence. Many experts gave Amanda little chance against the Brazilian powerhouse. At UFC 232 in December of 2018, Amanda shocked the world again. In just 51 seconds, she dropped Cyborg with a perfectly timed right hand and finished her with ground strikes, claiming the featherweight championship and making history as the first woman to hold belts in 2 UFC divisions simultaneously. The double champion era had begun, and Amanda was just getting started. She successfully defended both titles multiple times, facing challengers like Holly Holm, Germaine de Randamie, and Felicia Spencer. Each defense showcased different aspects of her evolving game: her improved grappling, her championship conditioning, and her ability to adapt her strategy for different opponents. What made Amanda's reign special wasn't just the victories, but how she won. She didn't just outpoint opponents, she dominated them. She finished fights. She made statements. Every title defense reinforced her position as the undisputed queen of women's MMA. What made Amanda Nunes so devastating was her complete skill set. Unlike many fighters who excel in one area, Amanda was truly well-rounded. Her striking was explosive and precise, combining Brazilian boxing fundamentals with devastating power. Her left hook became legendary, capable of ending fights in an instant. On the ground, her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt pedigree showed. She could submit opponents or use her grappling to control fights when her striking wasn't working. Her takedown defense improved dramatically throughout her career, making it nearly impossible for opponents to take her down against her will. But perhaps Amanda's greatest weapon was her mental strength. She possessed an unshakable confidence and the ability to perform under the brightest lights. Whether facing legendary opponents or hostile crowds, Amanda never wavered. She embraced pressure and used it as fuel for her performances. Her conditioning was also elite level. Many of her victories came in later rounds when opponents began to fade, but Amanda maintained her pace and power throughout entire fights. In June of 2023, Amanda announced her retirement from active competition, stepping away while still holding both the bantamweight and featherweight championships. Her final record of 22-5 doesn't tell the complete story of her dominance during her championship reign. Amanda's legacy extends far beyond her fight record. She legitimized women's MMA in a way that few fighters have. Her fights weren't just competitive, they were must-see events that drew mainstream attention to the sport. She proved that women's fights could be just as exciting and meaningful as any men's bout. She also broke barriers for LGBTQ+ athletes in combat sports, being openly married to fellow fighter Nina Ansaroff and never hiding who she was. Her authenticity and willingness to be herself inspired countless athletes to embrace their identities. Amanda Nunes didn't just become a champion, she became a legend. From the favelas of Brazil to the pinnacle of mixed martial arts, her journey represents everything beautiful about combat sports. She showed that with enough heart, determination, and skill, any dream is possible. The Lioness has left the cage, but her roar will echo through MMA history forever. Amanda Nunes isn't just the greatest female fighter of all time. She's one of the greatest fighters, period. Now, what do you think made Amanda Nunes so special? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of combat sports.